Hey everyone, how you doing? My name is Philip from Augsburg, Germany, and I'm currently playing guitar in the Jassi Hofer band. And I thought, since my original cover of the Red Hot Chili Peppers song "Can't Stop" has reached more than 100,000 views, it is now finally time for me to record the tutorial that I promised some time ago. So here it is. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn to play the song, and most of all, I hope you have fun with it. Alright, let's get to work. So I'm basically just gonna explain how to play the verse, because I think that's the only part that's really making people trouble. The chorus and the solo are not that difficult in my eyes. It's just chords, or in case of solo, it's just a few notes. So I'm not gonna explain that, but I'm gonna explain the verse. The basic principle on how to play the verse is so-called chicken picking. So you're not gonna play the notes like individually, like although some people do it, I'm not gonna judge that, but John plays it differently. But you're gonna rather play like all strings, but you don't let the notes ring that you want to ring. So just as a brief example, like this, a typical funk lick. I'm hitting all 6 strings, but I'm only having the G, B, and E string ring, like the notes on the G, B, and E string. So how do you do it? Basically, what you want to do is you're gonna play a note, but you're gonna mute all the other strings with the rest of your finger, or with the other fingers, depending on how or which note that you want to play. So to give you an idea of what I'm actually playing, I'm just going to show you the notes that you're going to play, and we're going to close up for this one. So here we are. Now I'm just going to show you the notes that you need to play for the verse. They're actually very simple. You just the top notes always stay the same, but you're going to start out with an E on the A string, with a D on the G string, and then an E on the G string. So then you're gonna do the E twice on the A string, and then you're gonna play the open D string, and then you're gonna play D and E again. So it's always the same pattern. You're gonna play a bass note, basically, in this case the E, and you're gonna play the top notes D and E on top of it. And you're gonna play the bass note twice, and then you're going to change the bass note again. So after we played the open D string, we're going to go down on the E string, playing the B, and then D again. Then you're going to change to C. That's it. That's all you got. You're just always changing the bass note. So we're going to start off with D, with an E, sorry. You're going to change to D, open D string. You're going to go to the B. And you're going to go to C. That's all there is, note-wise. We're going to go to the technique right next. Alright, next up is the right hand technique. There's actually not a lot of technique involved in right hand, but I think it's worth mentioning though. What I'm doing is just constantly strumming, and please notice that I'm strumming all the strings. It's important to keep a steady pulse on your right hand, to actually stay in the groove, to lock into the groove. You can do it without, I don't know, yeah, you probably can play it differently and not have that steady groove, but I highly recommend you doing it to really lock into the song. But now let's get to the really difficult part, or the part that is causing most people trouble, and most people probably watch the tutorial because of the next part. So we're gonna look at how to combine right and left hand technique, and how to properly play the right notes on or with the left hand. Alright, now for the tricky part. I have to put a little disclaimer here. because I'm playing the first part a little different than John actually did or does. What I'm doing, I'm playing the E on the A string with, as hot to show, with that part of my finger here, and I'm muting all the other strings with the rest of my finger. So I don't know if you can see it here, but I'm really just pushing down on the A string. This probably requires a lot of practice, and you might have, your finger might just look different, so it might not work for you. But what you can do is you can play the E on the A string with just the top of your finger, and then just not hit the E string with the right hand. Or the other way is muting the E string with your middle finger, but that's a bit more tricky. But that's the first thing you gotta get down. It's like just playing that one note and not have any other notes ring besides it. So we're gonna play the E on the A string, and then you're gonna play the D on the G string with your middle finger, and the E on the G string with your index finger. That's it. And then we're going to change things up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play the open D string. That's the next note that we're going to play. Our next bass note. We're going to mute the bottom two strings with your thumb, and you're just going to play the D on the G string with your index finger, and the E on the G string with your ring finger. So just the D string. It's a bit tricky muting the D string again, but I use it. I use my middle and my ring finger to actually stop the note from ringing. You can also use your right hand if that works better for you. You have to figure it out yourself a little bit. It's not really like that one way of doing it right, as long as you get the basic principle behind it. The next and last part is kind of notice that John has learned a lot from Jimi Hendrix. It's a typical way of playing the bottom note just with your thumb. You have to reach over the fretboard with your thumb to play the note. So we're going to play the B with your thumb, and then again, just as we did before with the index finger, you're going to play the D on the G string, and with your ring finger you're going to play the E on the G string. So, and you're just going to move your thumb over the next fret. And that's all there is. So I hope that helped some of you finding out how to actually play the song. Again, the most important thing here is to really just play the notes, or let the notes ring that you want to sound. You have to start really slow and be very careful that you don't have any other strings or notes ringing that you don't want to ring. So playing it sloppy is not going to sound good. If there's other strings ringing, like when you got the A or the D string ringing while playing the other notes, it's just not going to sound good, and you don't want that. So start off really slow, really slow, and make every note count that you play. That's all there is. And most importantly, have fun while playing it. It's a really cool song, and once you figure it out, you're probably not going to stop playing it. Alright? So maybe see you next time for another tutorial, and hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments if you want to, and besides that, just keep on playing.